Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked. Today I'm doing a no run-through review for the Loop expansion, The Revenge of Fauxzilla. And this should actually be a pretty straightforward review because basically, if you like the Loop, then you're going to like this expansion. If the Loop wasn't that kind of cooperative game for you, and you're hoping an expansion kind of fixes that, it really doesn't at all. So that's kind of really the gist of it. So this is the perfect kind of expansion, at least for me, that I was wanting with the Loop. It basically adds more of the same thing. It adds more missions. Excuse me. It adds more missions to go on. It adds more characters. It adds more artifacts. And that's pretty much it. Now, it is kind of it's a smaller, box expansion. It's a pretty thin one. So it's not like adding a ton of stuff. This isn't like the magnum opus of the Loop expansions. But the missions that it does add are very interesting, very, thematic to kind of the game. And, it's just more. And I very much appreciate those kinds of expansions in games like this. So I guess if you're not familiar with the Loop, it's a fully cooperative game centered around a time travel theme where a mad scientist is trying to create paradoxes. He makes clones of himself in different eras of time, and you're just trying to stop him in various ways depending on the mission that you go on. So I've done a run-through and a discussion over the Loop, so if you want, you can go check that out. But so I'll kind of just be quickly talking over the new stuff that the expansion brings. So it brings in 2 new characters, both with high complexity, although they're not that, I don't really think they're that complex in terms of some of the other complex ones. Like one of the complex ones in the base game can go into like mega vortexes and stuff like that, and that's not the case here. So one of them has, I'm not going to grab it, but basically they have 2 pieces. They're the peak twins. So it says, just about indestructible together, but so flexible and omnipresent when apart. The prophecies of Rick, senior marketing. That's their specialty. I thought it was actually going to say what they did. But basically, you treat the clones as if they're in 2 separate places. And that is huge whenever you're doing artifact abilities from your own deck, that you have so much control of doing it in like this era or in that era. And then you have Fauxzilla, which I know Klein is little, but I don't know Schlag. But his is really cool. His is high complexity, and his ability is once per turn, you can actually put Dr. Foe's era and point it to any other era. And initially, when I was playing him, I was thinking, oh, you're going to be able to control where he goes next and what he affects. You don't, because you always draw the card at the beginning of your turn of what he's affecting. But you slowly realize that a lot of his specialty cards are based off of where Dr. Foe's current era is. And you can do some really cool things with that. And the Peak Twins are just big on collecting artifacts and then damage control, or really anything, because they're in 2 places at once. So those 2 new characters are pretty awesome. Then it adds 2 new missions, both with a high complexity as well. You have Fauxzilla Apocalypse, and then you have the 7 Kaiju Balls. So Fauxzilla Apocalypse is one where you actually have a big Fauxzilla meeple, which is just a giant thing, and you actually do not do missions on this one. And I keep saying missions, I guess, because you do have the missions that are around the board, but I'm talking about the overall objective. You don't actually do missions on this one. Instead, you have 7 trap tiles that go in those same slots, and it has a normal side and a vortex side. The big thing here is you actually don't lose if there are 4 vortexes. You can keep going as long as possible, but you do still lose if a vortex area gets another vortex. But these are trap tiles, and whenever you do an artifact in a spot with a trap tile, on each trap tile there is an icon that matches the artifact that you did. You place a energy cube on it, and once all those spots are filled, the trap is now set. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the Fauxzilla meeple to move onto that spot, and then it takes the damage. And depending on your difficulty, you have to deal a certain amount of damage to hurt it. And that is what that one is. It's very difficult. It basically, the Fauxzilla meeple acts as a clone, except it can't be destroyed. So you can move it and manipulate it just like you would a regular clone. But what's rough about this one is the fact that because you're trying to kill him and that's how you win, you have to make sure that you're also dealing with the actual clones that are running around, because they're the ones who increase the number of rifts that you drop. So the 7 kaiju balls are about, you have 4 missions, and you're trying to, you have that require the KGB, so the kaiju balls, according to, of course, your difficulty. I've only played this one a few times, so it's a little hazy on like everything, but you have very specific missions that you're adding, and also you still have the Fauxzilla thing. So whenever you're doing its turn, Fauxzilla will move, and basically you drop a blue cube, and that's where it goes. And so Fauxzilla moves there, then it takes an action, and it will pick up the kaiju ball if there's at least one there, and then it will make an agent drop a kaiju ball. So it's kind of like a keep away aspect, and you win because you're trying to seal. I don't even know why they call them kaiju balls. Maybe this is kind of what they are. Oh, they're supposed to be the 7 dragon balls. Wow. Yep. Yeah, you play cat and mouse with the adorable Fauxzilla. Yeah, I just realized they look like Dragon Balls, and there's 7 of them. But yeah, so you're basically trying to seal them based off of the number of your difficulty. So there's new mission tiles, new agents, and then new artifacts, which are always just cool. So between the two, I have definitely played the Trapping Fauxzilla, the Fauxzilla Apocalypse one the most, and it's hard. I still haven't beaten it. I've gotten close though. Like, these are so difficult. Each mission is very, very rough, and it also includes more of the objective things where it's like, oh hey, win with 4 vortexes in play, win with 7 vortexes in play. Those are reasons for promotion. Then there are career plans depending on for each mission. The Fauxzilla Apocalypse, if you beat it in a month, a year, or eternity. So that's pretty much the expansion for the loop. Again, if you really liked the loop and you just wanted more content, then definitely grab this expansion, like without a doubt. If you didn't like the loop, don't bother. Don't try and pick up both and hope that it alleviates whatever issues you had, because it probably doesn't. And that's pretty much it. So, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, I think I'm going to give the Revenge of Fauxzilla an 8. I think both the missions that it comes with are extremely solid. I think both the characters that they have are very good. They're also extremely solid. The artifacts that they're in just adds more. I think that's great. So it would be like a 9 or even higher, like potentially a 10, if it just added more. Like, if this was kind of one of those very big box expansions where it's like basically a whole new base game, then I would have been like, oh yeah, this is amazing. So I'm still hoping that they keep supporting the loop. I think that this could warrant with potentially, probably, I think two more of these kinds of boxes. So if they did exactly like 4 more missions, because I can't remember how many missions there are total in the game. Let me see real quick. Because I have the bag here. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 6 total missions. Yes, that would be, I think that would be a perfect spot for them to stop if they did 4 more. So 2 more expansions like this, which would round it out to 10 missions. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Are there 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then 7 agents, which I guess if they did 2 in those boxes, that would make it 11, but it's weird that there's already 7. But so 4 more agents, and then just more artifacts. I think that would be a very solid way to round out this game, so I guess only time will tell. But The Revenge of Fauxzilla, 8 out of 10. Check it out if you like the game. Let me know what you think of the expansion in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.